Hello, what's up everyone? So, this will be my first post-game commentary since I don't really have a very good time talking while playing. Anywho, this is me playing Yasuo in mid lane. Fortunately, we go against an Echo. Echo is pretty good against the Yasuo due to his ult, so once he's about to get tornadoed or something like that, he can just ult away. He also has a Q, which if Yasuo uses his wind wall can deflect that, but Echo also does have his leap, so he can get right in front of his face and then throw it down, which is sort of like a 50-50 chance. But this was a ranked match, hoping that I could get some LP. We did have a very good teams comp. We had a Janna, a Malphite, and a Poppy, so we had a lot of good knockups going on. Now, at the beginning of the match, I accidentally walked into that. I was trying to play safe, because I know that Echo's not pushing as hard as I am. So I try to get at least some Q stacks to get some tornado hits on him. He's not really doing a good job on harassing me in the early game with his Q. There we go, I missed it again. Instead of doing my tornado, I should have just kept running. I try to wait till level 2, and then I get level 2, and then I go in for the harass. My shield. And then when my shield gets procced, as he misses his dash, I get a nice harass and good trade. Now I'm just trying to deny him farm while making sure that their jungler isn't going to gank me. Because Yasuo can get ganked really easily if he overextends or if he gets caught out. The prime time to only harass is if there's a line of minions to dash to and fro. And that's where I messed up there again with the dash. So I found out that Echo was throwing that down, so I tried to stay out of the way. And I missed my W. Yeah, start it. I was having the wackiest moments in the early game. Yeah, see, he should have been harassing me when my wind wall was down, because I can't really dodge that. That's his fault. And as you can see, he also has like no mana. So I'm really in the clear here to stay and keep one-on-one face hitting him, but I have to also be cautious of the jungle. I only have one bush warded, and as you see, he's really, really low, but I can't be too greedy. I have to play safe. I could kill him, but I have to wait for the minions to get to his tower. Otherwise, if I don't, I will screw myself over in trying to get a kill by the tower killing me, or again, you have to be careful of the jungler. Most of the time, people, when they play Yasuo, they usually get camped. And so I remember playing a lot of Yasuo mid lane. I got camped harder than I would top lane. So you have to be careful there. But sometimes they don't camp you until later, like maybe 8 minutes in the game. So that's when you do have to, like, they give you this comfort zone when you're not being ganked, but you still have to be very cautious about that. And as you can see, our bot lane's got a kill for Lucian. And as you see, we have the creeps coming in, and I try to get some time to get some of that get the cannon minion. Sorry, I couldn't say that. I was having a hard time thinking. I have my wind wall, and I'm trying to get some nice hits. Gotta make sure, watch out for that. Try to dodge his Q. His freaking discus of death. And as you can see, I'm just trying to keep going on with farming, stacking my E. Gotta ward that bush again, because every time you have a jungler there, he just screws you over, especially when you try to get a good kill. See, I could have probably killed him actually right there. I was just a little too shy, but the thing is that if I messed up, I would have probably died with his stun, because he still has quite a bit of mana. Now, I do have to be careful with the ganks, because pretty soon Echo will have his ultimate, and I get stunned there, which, sadly for me, I do get ganked. Freaking Udyr, of course. Udyr is the worst. I hate Udyr in the jungle. So I have to. I try to see if I can lure Echo in, which I do. I get a nice gravitational pull towards his greet, and there we go. You know, I knock him up. He couldn't take it. I ignite him. I dash away. Of course, Udyr though, freaking demon worshiper here, thinks he can just steal a kill, which he does. But yeah, I mean, you just kind of think positive. See, if you get 1-1, that's a good trade. At least I prefer to get the trade off of. Gosh darn it. Every time. You want to get the trade off of at least your laner. Get a good even trade, even if it's death and kill, because that way you can still be able to outperform and outplay them later, and still have the same advantage as you were if you were in CS lead. So it's kind of still like you're at the start of the game. But sometimes you do have to be more careful than for other champions due to their build. For example, some champs are late game build. If they have more items, the more that's when they have their prime. But for me, when I get my he wasted his ult. It was a terrible play. If you get a nice character like Yasuo, who's more of a mid-late game, you can pretty much win trades mid-game, even if you do fall off. Depends on who the champion is. But like right there, as you can see, even if you do have the lower advantage, like for me, Yasuo, when he has his crit, when you get 100% crit and at least some decent damage items, then you're pretty set for the game. Depending if you want to build MR or armor. But usually if you get fed with Yasuo, it's the best too, because you're like double strong than that. So I see that my team's trying to take dragon, so I go down and try to help. But I also want to make sure like no one's here, so I ward red bush. And go down. And sadly our Malphite isn't doing so hot with the jungling part, but I dodged the Ezreal ult and saved Janna. But sadly Echo does come down, and I get the dragon for a team, but I did miss the ult, but I wasn't expecting it, to be honest, and then I die. But we did have a Leona. I was targeting Leona, but our Lucian was down, so we didn't have anyone. So we should have just got dragon and ran, but we thought we could stick out for the team fight. When our team gets back, we go. See, trying to build static shift first, while consistently having a damage item. For example, I try to keep at least a Doran's Blade or 2 Doran's Blades to give me lifesteal and some health and damage while having the crit. Because if you think about it, when you get 100% crit and you get a damage item, the more damage, like it's just double the amount of damage that you would get for 1. So as you see, I've tried to just farm, play safe, dodge his Qs. Pink Ward's been doing me a lot of favor right now. It hasn't been spotted yet. Just try to avoid his Qs. His Qs are deadly, but I don't also want to lose my shield because I still want to be able to get some harass off of him while preventing myself from getting damage. Gotta watch out for his ult clone, because that thing will screw you over too if you don't pay attention to that. Just saw he was going to get Rift Herald or going up river. Nope, he's in there. Malphite screwed up. So I just try to... I'll just go the other way while Poppy goes and pretty much... Yeah, I think we got juked. Yeah, we got juked by Echo, so I just forgot about him. Just went and got Raptors. The thing about Yasuo is that you gotta like be mindful of your jungler while you're also farming, because you know the best thing for you to do is to get leveled up faster and get your items as fast as you can, but sometimes the jungler is dependent on the jungles. Well, some like ganking junglers, it's not as much as a deal to them, but the farmer junglers like Yi, Jax, the ones who get the stacks for, say, a Devour, that does matter to them. And right here, I think I die, because I can't freaking... Yeah, I'm dead. Udyr in the jungle. Can't really do anything much against an Udyr with bear stance who stuns you for 3 seconds. It feels like more like an eternity. But you can get to him. I think this is a double kill for them. Yep. Oh dear. The Fedir. This game is pretty crazy. We thought we had a good run. We thought we had a good start. But sometimes just a little bit of mistakes just add up and add up. Another thing that sucks too is having, like, for me, late game is pretty good. It's more the mid-late game for my character, but so we got Nasus who just farms like there's no tomorrow. Tunnel vision 199% of the time. Doesn't care about ganks. Doesn't care about pretty much TPing except to go back to his lane, which I do that too, but it's only to because some of the laners I go against are really crazy. And my friend just told me he got lectured about a Buddha statue. But I mean, there's some times where you just nice dash. You just have to understand that some champs you just have to pay more attention to. Like, I'm glad that their Udyr was paying attention to me. That's a good thing he did for his team. But I just wish that I don't remember how many stacks he got for Nasus, but I feel like our lane, my lane, could have been camped on too by Malphite, because I never got a gank from him with an ult like he told me he would. So I was kind of like, what the heck, what's going on? But like right there, he doesn't have his ult, but he's trying to go ham on an Udyr without an ult to set up mine, which mine was off on cooldown, but he was pretty much using his ult for iffy whiffy do. It just doesn't work like that. Nasus is just crazy. So we're talking about 2016 elections today. And the thing that I do not like about the elections is everybody. Every single person that I think can run for office is terrible. Hillary Clinton especially, but Donald Trump, like points he makes are good, but it's how he goes about them that I disagree. Like, sure, you know, like, not every Muslim is, like, terrible. Like, there's some nice Muslims, there's some nice Hispanic people. Like, not all of them are bad. Like, you can't just judge a Hispanic group just because, you know, a majority of Hispanics are crossing the border because, one, they're looking for a better life because their life down there is super bad. It's super poor, and they just, like, have a hard time getting jobs, or they can't support their families, so they have to have their family members come over here to get jobs to support their family, which, in all honesty, that's like, it's risky, But it shows you how committed they are to their family, and you have to understand that. Even us Americans are so greedy and so, like, we just don't care about anyone else except our own selves, which some families in America share the similar fate with people in Mexico. I totally understand. But the thing is that we also have to see it from their perspective, not just the world's or how we think of it. Like, an example that I would also like to recommend is that when we have when we thought about it, we literally came into America to get new life opportunities, right? Well, think of us as right now the natives. We hate, hate, hate people immigrating into our country, right? Well, back then, when natives pretty much owned all of America, because they were native here, Native Americans, we immigrated from Europe because we wanted better lives and more job opportunities and to support our family and what we believed was right. And we came into their country and stole it pretty much. So you can't say much about Mexico. Like, I'm not saying I agree with all of the, like, immigration, but you can't just, like, criticize them. You just can't, unless you want to criticize yourself, because we're all immigrants from here. Even, like, the people that immigrated from Mexico, they had children. You can't say that their children are illegal, because we would be illegal. I mean, it's just common sense if you think about it, how you would relate it to the world and how we came about to be Americans. We're really Europeans from Europe, as you could say, that grew up, had kids, and then generation after generation lived in America naturally. Like, our ancestors came from Europe. You can't. You can't criticize certain groups about what they can and can't do and what's right or wrong when we've done the same thing. And another thing that I would like to discuss about is how our presidents nowadays have a tendency to think that everything that they do is the right thing and that the right way to get a crowd to vote for them is by emotion. And that's manipulation on my part, and I don't want a president who manipulates me into believing what their side of the story is right. It's just something I don't like to, it's not something I enjoy, or wanting to put my faith into someone like that. So, and it's also another thing, but I mean, thinking biblically, like, we don't have control over it. Even though we say we have a vote, like, everyone has their own vote, and we can't control everyone either. So, I mean, I'll be damn shocked if Trump or Clinton got it, which I'm pretty sure they actually are. But, like, I mean, it's the end times. You can't really like say that the world's gonna be perfect, because it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over. You just have to face the facts. Proven facts. I mean, Russia's freaking out about America. America's freaking out about Russia. The nuclear warheads, ISIS, all this stuff, Illuminati stuff. I mean, everything is just like, what the heck? Like, life is becoming drama in school. So, like, I'm not really looking forward to being an adult, because politics and all this is kind of stupid. Like, I understand you want to learn about your country, but right now, learning about my country is just tiring, because it's so problematic. Sometimes you just gotta sit down and read a book and be like, back then in that time frame, perfect. Because, I mean, it wasn't perfect. There's, like, racism, there's slavery, but, like, back then it wasn't like, we didn't have, like, much, I mean, KKK, but, like, we didn't have like these hate terrorist groups like as bad as we do, and there wasn't like it wasn't as devastating back then. Like sure, there's like lots of bad stuff going on, but you can't really. I mean, I would say that the before times, like in between the very early like 80 or where the medieval times or anything like that. I mean, there's like a time zone where I believe it was it was the best time to live. Probably about somewhere between after the Great Depression, like after all the like recovery, like a little bit between there, before the Great Depression, before the war, where America was calm, didn't worry about anything. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but like just looking back and kind of like relating it to how like the political view, it seemed normal. It seemed like you would want to be there. And I mean, school is annoying. Relationships are annoying. I mean, it's not that like having a relationship's annoying, it's just that heart problems are annoying in a way. Like, I mean, I've struggled with heart problems before. Sorry, we're going off topic of the relationships. Let's get real deep. But when you think about it, high school is just drama. It sucks having this drama because you get so wrapped up with what you want, what you believe you want, or what you feel is right, like for you, or that's the right thing to do. Because we're about adults or young adults, pretty much, and we're getting the ideas of choices and ideas of what we believe what we believe is right, and you just have to, what I've been learning is that even though I believe I'm right, or if I am right, and I can't say I'm 100% right, but majority of the time I have good judgment, or I have wise decision-making skills in a way. But sometimes you have to understand that not everyone agrees with you, or was growing up with the same fact, or, I mean, I'm not trying to be, like, I'm not trying to say that I'm the choice of God at making decisions, but you have to understand that not everyone agrees with you, and that's fine. That's totally fine. You just have to understand also that, people don't always agree with what you want. So that's another thing that I had to learn, and I've learned it pretty good. Like, for example, I really like this girl at my school. She's really nice, but she has a hard time, like, not knowing. She doesn't know what she wants. That's what I'm just gonna say. She just doesn't know what she wants. So, what I've learned is that I want to be with her and have a relationship with her. But another thing that I also have to understand is, or what I told her is, I wanted her to make a choice on what she wanted, and I want her to have a choice that makes her happy. So that's also a thing you have to understand is, for what I just said, not always what you think is right, or not always what is right that you think is right to the other person. I just care really strongly about her. I care about her future, I care about what she wants, and care about her happiness. I also care about her personality and what I believe, in my opinion, is good to have in a relationship, or good to have for her because of who she is. I also can relate to her a lot because I was the same exact way when I was younger. And I'm wanting to be the kind of guy to help her understand and see through my eyes what I've learned, and to help her learn as well in making decisions like I have. Because, making decisions revolved around other people's feelings, isn't always the best thing to do, when that's not what I believe is the right way to make decisions. Like, there's times to be selfless, make decisions based off of, other people's opinions or what they want, if you're wanting to be a good friend and stuff. But there's sometimes where you need to put your foot down, say no, or say, this is what I want. If it hurts you, I understand, and I'm sorry, but this is just what needs to happen. And that's what I struggled with in a previous relationship I had. And it sucks, because I was, in a way, passive. I was not caring about what the outcome was for me. All I did was care about what she wanted, and I cared about making her happy. And, like, you want to make that person happy, no doubt about it. But there's some times where you gotta say what you want isn't right. Even when I'm wanting you to be happy and it makes you happy, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to face the fact that I don't agree with it, or I don't want to have that. So, that's something I noticed and that I wanted to do for her, and be that person that, not the same person I was before, but be a person to help her and not make that same mistake, and be someone that cares about her, to love her and show her commitment and such like that. So, another thing that I realized was that being in a relationship 3 years doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything to that person. For example, I was in a relationship, and it was good for the 2 years. It was good. I cared about her really deeply, but I was getting compared about the second year. I was being compared on and off again, getting compared by another guy. And people change. It's not something I want to hear, or something, it's not something I wanted to believe. I didn't want to believe that she was changing, but she changed. I changed too. I've changed in good and bad ways. She's changed in good and bad ways too. Not change isn't always 100% good or 100% bad. There's pros and cons to every single thing. Everyone's got a different viewpoint. Sure, I'm hurt about it still, because I feel compared and I feel lied to. I feel lied to is what I really feel. But I have to understand that it's not my choice, it's hers too. And like I said, with Maddie, this girl that I really like, that I'm liking now, she wants to just be friends, because she's having a hard time with making a decision. So, you gotta understand other people's views and other people's wants, and if they're confused, just give them space. It's not like I'm just gonna be like, oh, I can't have her, I just might as well not like her anymore, go move on. No, you can still like someone. Just, being patient is a good thing to have. Don't be patient for too long, because sometimes, you're missing out on the opportunities you can have with someone else, or you can learn, meet new people. But, it's pretty recent. I don't want to just, say or give up on her, especially when I know about her personally now. I want to be there for her as a friend too. But there's also times where you gotta understand, no, she doesn't want me. She's not making much of an effort, or she's just not interested anymore. She's spending time with another guy more and more than you, so you have to understand, she probably likes someone else. So that's something you gotta understand. And another thing about relationships is that you just gotta not just feel it in your gut. You also have to feel it deep down. If there's something bothering you, don't ignore it. make sure you understand, like, you don't just, like, react to it either. Like, sometimes jealousy reacts, but, like, with me, I mean, I had jealousy with this guy that she was talking to, with the girl I used to go out with for 3 years. Not go out, but, like, we had a thing for 3 years. Her parents wouldn't let us date, but I had a feeling that she was liking him, even though she said she didn't. I mean, she later admitted she was. But, like, that's something I kept having this feeling of, why is she, I feel compared. I hate this feeling. I feel lied to. I feel like she's hiding something from me, or she's not understanding the fact that she's spending the equal amount of time or commitment of time with him as she is with me. So that's something you have to understand with. But I mean, you also have to know that whatever you do is, you gotta just be aware of it. I also would like to talk about one of our teachers we're having. I love my English teacher. My history teacher is very, very, very unprofessional. She does not know what she is doing at all. It's pretty crazy, because I mean, she teaches. She has to teach. She's a teacher, but she doesn't know how to react or act with us like we're some little kids. It's really, really, really annoying. And sometimes, she's a new teacher. She came from the elementary school, and I just believe she's just making it's just a boring class. She likes me as a student because I do my work, but there's just some times where I just believe her logic is just not good with the kids. Not kids, but the students. The students just don't like her. She has favorites with kids or students in the class with phones. She hates it when we're on our phones, but like I'm on my phone. She doesn't give a two rips about me. There's this girl she has problems with all the other time in class, and she just takes her phone. It's like, wow, okay. I it's like, I mean, most people would be like, why would you care about that? Well, I'm an honest person. I care about, like, just justice and, like, the right, no matter what. And I mean, I feel bad for a teacher, because she does get, like, everyone despises her pretty much. Everyone doesn't like her. Even the good kids don't like her. It's not like she did anything bad. It's just she doesn't know. She doesn't know how to teach in a way, or like in a high school environment. Now, if you could, I guess just leave a comment section on who your favorite champ is. As you can see, I've played Yasuo like every single game. But the only reason why is I'm trying to be better at him by watching how I play. I also got a new recording device called D3D Gear, which works. The only problem I have with it that I'm experiencing is that every time I'm recording, I can't alt-tab out of my games. And the problem with that is if I'm in a Skype call, I can't, alt-tab when I'm in game, and if it gets, like, canceled or someone, like, disconnects, I can't go back in the call and accept them or call them. And it's annoying to have that. I have to, like, I emailed the guy, the owner. He texted me or not texted me, he emailed me back and said, what game? I emailed him, he never replied. So, I don't know if that's good or bad. I would say it's not good customer service. But, I mean, he's probably busy. He's got a lot of stuff to do. It's just I was hoping I knew how to fix it or how to understand or solve the problem I'm having, because it's annoying. It's really, really annoying. It's really annoying. And I mean, sometimes you just gotta deal with life, does you? Another thing that I hate about League is the complainers. Like, I'll complain, I'm not gonna lie, I do complain a lot. But the complainers about this game are, they didn't, oh, you picked this champ or whatever. I do it too, but then I have to understand, any champ can be beat. Any champ can be beat. Whether it's solo or you get ganks. You have to have the smarts, the brains about doing it, though. So, I mean, for example, like Yasuo, if I was like, Yasuo's OP, well, he's a very high-skilled champion with really good, build potential. If used correctly, you can really screw up how you use him by not being, cautious about your ult or, getting stacks or positioning and ease and all that. You have to be really smart about your decisions on what you use with him and your mechanics. That's one thing that you have to have with Yasuo. While there's some champions like Annie, I'm gonna put Annie out there, everyone can relate. Annie's a click cast champion, except for one is a skill. Two of them are skill shots, her ult and another one. But the other two, one is on herself. The other one is it auto target. Not even a skill shot auto. It just locks on instantly. It's like Pantheon's Q. Just hover your mouse over someone, press the button. It's gonna hit them no matter what, unless you have something like Yasuo's wall or something that can deflect or reject the outcome of what it gives. And the thing with her is that it doesn't require a lot of mechanics to play her, which some other champions do, but you also have to understand, there's other champions you can play that can counter her, but anyone can beat a champion if played right or, team plays. Alright, well, this is the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.